Sony continues to regularly release more affordable smartphone options, in addition to the Xperia 1, which is indeed in the flagship class, and the Xperia Pro with professional photo and video capabilities. The arrival of the Sony Xperia 10 Mark VII could be a breath of fresh air, especially for consumers looking for a compact smartphone with a smaller screen size. Unfortunately, Sony has long since left the Indonesian smartphone market, so if you really want the latest Sony smartphone, you have to buy it from abroad. Although, new products like the Xperia 10 Mark VII do have their own appeal. It now features a fresher design and superior camera sensors. The Xperia 10 Mark VII now comes in 3 different color options. The camera placement is now horizontal with a camera module that spans the entire width, slightly reminiscent of the latest Google Pixel. Weighing just 168 grams, it is extremely lightweight. It remains durable thanks to IP65 or IP68 certification and Gorilla Glass Victus 2 protection on the front.
In addition to its fresher design, the Sony Xperia 10 Mark VII camera is also one of its main selling points. It is said that the main sensor now has a larger dimension, reaching 1.56 inches with Sony's signature Exmor RS technology. This 50-megapixel sensor can provide 2 times in-sensor zoom, while next to it is a 13-megapixel ultra-wide sensor that provides a focal length of 16 millimeters. Completing the Sony Xperia 10 Mark VII camera setup, which also has an 8-megapixel selfie camera on the front, is a dedicated shutter button embedded on the right side of the body, aligned with the volume and power buttons, which also serve as fingerprint sensors. It is not mentioned whether it supports 2-stage pressing, but it is said to be functional for taking pictures directly by pressing it, or as a shortcut for taking screenshots.
The Xperia 10 Mark VII camera also supports AI scene recognition. For editing, Sony relies on Google's Magic Editor, which is typically accessible through the Google Photos app, one of several integrated Google AI features, complementing others like Circle to Search and Google Gemini. The Xperia 10 Mark VII comes with Android 15 and is promised to be ready for up to 4 OS versions and 6 years of regular security updates. The performance of the Sony Xperia 10 Mark VII is powered by the Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 octa-core 4nm chip released last September. This chip offers performance similar to the 7S Gen 2 series, and Sony pairs it with 8 GB of RAM, 128 GB of UFS internal storage, and a microSD card slot. However, it also includes other ports that are increasingly rare in smartphones in its segment. Yes, despite its compact body, Sony still manages to include a 3.5mm audio jack on the top of the Sony Xperia 10 Mark VII, complete with high-res audio support, as well as features like DSSE Ultimate, which enhances audio quality through AI-powered upscaling and restoration processing. Additionally, Sony has also included stereo speakers, both positioned on the front. This is the reason behind the thick bezels on the top and bottom of the Xperia 10 Mark VII. How small is the Xperia 10 Mark VII's display? It measures 6.1 inches, which is smaller than the iPhone 17. The display uses a full HD+ OLED panel with a 120 Hz refresh rate, and Sony has opted for a more standard aspect ratio, shifting from the previously very wide 21:9 to 19.5:9. Despite its lightweight body, Sony has managed to include a 5,000 mAh battery
claim to last up to 48 hours. The Sony Xperia 10 Mark VII is priced at €449, or approximately 524 US dollars. As usual, prices in this currency are generally higher compared to other regions,